All right, all right, all right. Welcome in H-Town world. You are now tuned in to The Solid Grip, coming to you live at 5, no time for jive. I'm your host, J.R. Wilson, alongside me, Ping Wilson. And look here, we got some hot, sizzling things to talk about. Now's the time for you to close your mouth and open your ears and listen to what The Solid Grip has to say. Ooh, hey, I know y'all see the name of this teams that are interested in Deshaun Watson. Those people that are on here watching right now, thank you so much. Before you go any further, I need you to do me a favor. Me and my father need you to do us a favor and subscribe to the channel. You see that link scrolling at the bottom of the page. Like, subscribe, comment, share this link with your people, with your partners, with your family. And understand this, if you don't get nothing else out of this show, understand that this show is the flavor for your wings, the barbecue sauce for your ribs, the sugar for your Kool-Aid, not your tank. Don't get it twisted and misconstrued. You understand? Now, it's time for us to get into what we get into. First, Pop, I got to ask you, how you doing? How was your week?
Long week, man. Couldn't wait to get to Friday, man. This is the biggest weekend in the year in this country, man. Super Bowl weekend and stuff, man. But it's here now, and hey, I'm happy about that, man.
Yeah, man. I told you for this weekend, man. I'm going to peel back some crawfish on Sunday. I'm gonna be in front of the TV. We're gonna have a little family thing where we're gonna be in front of the TV, the big screen downstairs. I'm gonna be cracking, pulling them tails out, dipping them in the remoulade sauce, and man, watching the game, man. And we'll talk about who we're taking in this game, why, all those things, man. Y'all just stay with us, man. I promise you, man, we got something for you. All right. So first, we got things that we need to take care of. We got rid of the housekeeping. We took care of that. All right. So let's get into this first, man. Jackson State football recruiting class. Now, first of all, let me say this. Jackson State University is a HBCU. What that means is a historically black college or university, okay? And it is in the SWAC. The SWAC is big in Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Arkansas, okay? That's pretty much how it goes, okay? And as y'all know, Deion Sanders is now the head coach of Jackson State University. Some interesting things have taken place and transpired over the last 24 to 48 hours as far as the recruiting class is concerned. Now, I'm going to let my old man drive the wheel, but I thought something was very interesting that I saw, that Deion Sanders is bringing in a lot of 3-star players, and that's big. I mean, that's really big in an HBCU school. You have to understand all of this talent goes to these Division I Power 5 schools, and they're not in the HBCU community anymore, okay? And he has a lot of 3-star players that have committed, and there's one person in particular that committed, which was his son playing quarterback. He is committed, and he's a 4-star player, okay, out of Cedar Hill, Texas. And, man, this is just a wonderful thing to see. Pop, I want to know what's on your mind, man. Go ahead and let it out, man. Tell me, how you feel about all this being on the table with Jackson State University.
Okay, first let's just break it down, Rich. Usually the SWAC and other historical black universities get the 1-stars. Every now and then a 2-star. And if they get lucky, they'll beat somebody out for a 3-star. Usually it's going to take a situation where, say, the head coach's son is a 3-star player, like with the situation with Deion, but never, ever 4 and 5-star. Okay? Jackson State's recruiting class was ranked in one ranking rival 78th, and in another one 85th. Now, guys, that does not happen. Okay? If you go to the 24/7 sports and rival sports, they beat out a lot of the big time schools. I'm talking about on rivals, they beat out South Carolina, which is in the SEC, guys. As a matter of fact, Deion had a son playing at South Carolina this year, and he transferring to Jackson State. and he'll get all 4 years because of the pandemic. So, guys, this was just his first class, okay? And to add to that, he got 3 4 stars. He got five. No, he got 10 3 stars. But that don't include the kids that's transferred. He got kids transferring from USC all the way down to the University of Houston. University of Houston lost one of their best receivers from Beaumont Westbrook, who is a senior, but he got his senior year all over again because of the pandemic. So if they go, say, 5-1 this year, or if they go 4-2, or 3-3, or even if they go 1-5, the next year you're at about 8-2, and guys, in about 3 you'll see them start playing the P5 big time schools and beating them. Okay, guys, this has not happened since I was in school when Grambling was still getting guys like Doug Williams. Okay, people like that. I mean, Carlos Pennywell, guys that would go to LSU or would have gone to Arkansas or Alabama. But to say that Deion's, it kind of reminds me of when Clyde first took the Houston job. Okay, and
Right.
he was getting all those great players and stuff like that. Now the thing about it, you still got to coach him. Okay, you still got to coach him, and I believe they can do that. As a matter of fact, Deion's defensive coordinator is a guy named Dennis Thurman. Some of you Cowboy fans may remember him. Played defensive back for the Cowboys. He's the DC over there. So it's really a wonderful thing, man. And a lot of those kids saying, "Hey, I just want to make history." Okay, I mean, regardless of whether it's Deion or who, but come on, let's face it now. Yeah, I mean, when you're talking about a Hall of Fame coach, and so who just resigned from the NFL channel and stuff, is now your head coach, guys. You know he got a big time interest for those kids in the National Football League. Hey guys, I hear my boy Ralph Cooper them over on another channel talking about he can't wait for Deion to get his butt. Well, you may get it whooped this year, okay? He may get it whooped a little bit next year, but after that, when these 3 and 4 star kids become sophomores and juniors and seniors, watch out, Swag.
Yeah, I mean, hey, he's the right guy for the job because of his popularity, not just in the NFL, excuse me, excuse me, not just in the NFL, but he was a sports analyst for a while, still is really, in his own, kind of backyard, but highly regarded. Really was kind of a quasi, what do you call them? What's that place out of Boston, man? They have a real big sports show. I can't, Barstool Sports, kind of a quasi guy for them. And he works with guys, man, in the off season, and he's just a good dude, man. He loves the Lord. And he's an individual, man, that that's the type of work that he should be doing in the community, man. Really trying to build back up, not just Jackson State University. I think it was much bigger than that. It's more about, hey, let's build up our community, right? Our black community, as far as
Right.
HBCU schools are concerned. Because if you get more 4 and 5 star players going to these black schools, especially in this time, Pop, we in a time right now where black excellence and power is important. It's not about supremacy of any kind, but what it's about is it's about camaraderie. It's about liberation. I think black people for a long time have been crabs in a bucket because we've been fashioned to be that way because of our oppression over a number of years. But now you see a lot more African American millionaires, for example, and a lot of people are coming up. A lot of people are gaining knowledge. A lot more people are getting higher levels of education as far as African Americans are concerned. And I think this is big for the world of sports when it comes to that. And yes, it'll create some parity. You want some parity in college football because, man, these Power 5 schools, they've taken over, man. They really have. And the smaller schools, they just not getting the love, man, especially HBCU schools. So yeah, man, I want to, move in another direction, Pop. Look, the Rockets are in a place right now where I'm comfortable with them. I don't feel like they're contenders or anything like that for a championship, but I think that they're in a position where they are fun to watch and they move the ball really well. They all play well together. You got a lot of guys that you didn't really know a whole lot about that are contributing. Often when you see the box score, you see 5 or 6 guys that are in double digits scoring. They just work together as a team, and they lost a big individual in the lineup in Christian Woods, man. Yeah, he had an MRI today. He sprung his ankle, and it's been confirmed by the doctor that he does have an ankle sprain. But what I didn't hear was it was a high ankle sprain. And we know with a high ankle sprain, it's almost like tearing your ACL, man. You normally you're out for the season, but in his case, it's going to be a week-to-week basis where they'll drop the MRI, but he'd probably be out maybe I know a couple of weeks, but maybe even a couple of months, Pop.
That was a big loss, man. But again, like you said, these guys play hard, man.
Yeah.
They out, they run, and when they got when they have opportunities to run, they rebound. I mean, nobody's complaining about playing time. I mean, Boogie Cousins sites 8 minutes, and some nights, he gets 24 minutes. I guess he'll go back in the starting lineup now for Christian. But Rich, I expect him to be battling right there at the end for that 8th spot, man. You know what I'm saying? They right in the mix right now. Before they played the game on Wednesday State, they were actually in the 8th spot. So, hey, they playing Miami Heat like they're going to be a team. They play better than the Dallas, who a lot of people in the finals with the Lakers and stuff in the Western Conference. So, got to tip your hand to Silas, man. I mean, I just think he's a brilliant young coach and stuff, man. And he's a player's coach. I mean, he's modest. He's humble and stuff when he talks and stuff. And, hey, man, he's getting the most out of these guys.
Yeah, man. He really is, man. I think he was a great hire, young African-American coach. And he wants the team to win, man. He wants to do well as a head coach. And I really, really like how he spreads it out, man. I didn't really like how the one thing I didn't like about the coach that just left us is that often he used a 7 or 8 man rotation. Silas will pull all them cats off the bench, man. He'll pull them all off the bench, man. I mean, often you see 10, 11 guys playing, you know what I mean? And I think what that does is that creates mismatches in defense. What it does is it gives you fresh legs. And so you got guys going out there like the Mason Jones boy, Nawaba, they go out there and drop 10, 15 on you real quick, and they might only be playing 8 to 10 minutes, but they make the best of what they got when they go out there, man. And that giving those fresh legs, because you got guys that are injury prone like John Wall. I mean, right now he's questionable with back spasms. And, he's just going to be a guy that's always hurt because he's like a George Springer, man, of basketball. He plays balls to the wall, man. And, I mean, man, all that cut, man, it wears on you after a while. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so it's going to be a big loss, man, not having Christian Woods there. But I think, like you said, with DeMarcus Cousins, Boogie Cousins filling in, man, I think we'll be just fine. We'll probably be half and half. We'll win some, lose some, but we're going to keep pressing. I like what this team looks like, and might even be a possible trade coming up for Victor Oladipo, something we'll be talking about in the future. Right now it's just kind of dormant. So, we'll see what happens, man. So, yeah, man, let's get into Pop. I kind of want to kick you out and have you come back in because you're real choppy and you was choppy last time, man. I just want to make sure that we
okay.
If you step out real quick and then pop back in and see if that works. Matter of fact, I'm gonna pull you out of here. Y'all forgive me. Here we go. All right. So yeah. But before we get to Deshaun Watson, let me talk about Victor Oladipo. Right now, I think that he's a nice addition, but I think we're kind of playing similar to what we was playing when James Harden is here. We got a lot of guards, and not a whole lot of big men. And I like Victor Oladipo. I think he's a good player, but I think that he should be traded to get a big man. You need a big man. You know what I mean? Maybe you get I don't think you could, but a Capella back in here, but somebody like that, man, who can, really get some boards down for you, man. Really get in that paint, man. Play good defense, and we really don't have that. And we had decent big men in Christian Wood and Boogie Cousins, but now Christian Woods is down. So we need a big man. We need a big man, and maybe that's something that I'll discuss with my old man when he comes back on here before we move into the next segment. But look, man, first of all, I just want to say congratulations to Deion Sanders, man, really landing these pieces, man, for Jackson State University. It's awesome to see. It's not about a race thing, rather than it's about a race of individuals that are coming up that have been down. You know what I mean? For whatever reason. Looks like we got my old man back here. I just kind of, let him load up a little bit, then I'll pop him back in there. Bloop. All right, Pop, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you okay, Rich.
Okay, good. That's a lot better. That's a lot better, man. I was just saying, if you want to, tackle this a little bit, that, Victor Oladipo is possibly on the block, man. And one thing you and I spoke about is that, we need big men. And I mean, one
Right.
of the big men that we had, we just lost. And I like Victor Oladipo, but the style of ball that we playing here is very similar and indicative of what we were playing when James Harden was here. We got a lot of guards and not a whole lot of big men. So as
Right.
good as Victor Oladipo is, and I think he's a good ball player, I definitely think he needs to be on the block so we can get a big man. How you feel about that?
Absolutely, Rich. We have got to have another big guy and stuff, especially if we're gonna turn the corner and make the playoffs and stuff. And so, I know Vic wants out and stuff, although he's playing hard, but there are a number of big men around the league who are not seeing a lot of action, man. Who we would readily give him up for, along with maybe a second round draft pick.
And your boy PJ Tucker, huh? No Scope
Exactly.
Tuck. No
Yeah.
Scope Tuck, man. He, you know, I like guys with grit, man. He's a guy with grit, but man, you got to put some points on the board. I think I'm
Got to
in
put
agreement
some
with
on
you
the
now.
board, Rich.
Yeah, man. You go 2, 3, 4 games, man. You don't score no points. Look, if you don't have no points, you need to have 10 boards. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But I mean, he's 6'6", man, 6'5", 6'6", man. I mean,
Right.
you get in there, you play a team like Milwaukee, man. I mean, you ain't getting nothing, man. They cleaning everything
Right.
up off of the rim. You know what I mean? So, and other teams that have big men like that. So, all right, man, let's press on, man, and let's talk about what this show is named, entitled, which is teams that are interested in Deshaun Watson, man. This thing is real. It's realer than it's ever been. I am one of the belief that we need to just rip the Band-Aid off, Pop, and let him go, man. Ain't no use of waiting. Now's the time. Strike while the iron's hot. Teams are, I mean, they chomping at the bit to get Deshaun Watson. This is when you need to make a ridiculous trade. I mean, a ridiculous one. And they're, I'm sure, making some ridiculous offers out there, man, because they know you get a guy like Deshaun Watson, he is going to change the face of your franchise, not just the team. I'm talking about sales. I'm talking about butts and seats. I'm talking about hot dogs getting scarfed down, beer getting chugged, all those things, man. In the community, you're going to have a movement. You get a guy like that, you're going to have a movement. The commercials for local businesses like Deshaun does HEB here in Houston, but wherever he goes, and in New York, especially if he goes to New York, Pop. I mean, come on, man. Like, the marketing out there is serious business in the media mecca of the United States of America, and one of them in the world, man. So let's talk about some of these teams, Pop. So these are the teams that we know of. Okay, we know Denver. Denver wants them. Jets wants them. Carolina wants them. New England wants them. Atlanta wants them. Miami wants them. Philly wants them. San Francisco wants him. Dallas wants him. The Raiders, we now know wants him. Arizona is even in the mix now. Pop, can you believe that? The Arizona
Yes, I
Cardinals,
can.
huh?
Yes, I can, man. I can believe that. And let me add a few. Pittsburgh's
Yeah,
in the mix now, man.
really.
So it's crazy for him, man. And hey, man, they're gonna get a king's ransom. It's no doubt about it. But I think in the end, I think it's gonna come down between two teams. I think it's gonna come down between the 49ers and the Denver Broncos. I just think Johnny Elway knows that he's got to do something, man, to make a move to get that franchise back to where it's been over the years and stuff. And they've experimented and experimented and experimented, almost like Cleveland have and stuff. And I know he don't want to go as many years without winning a playoff game as Cleveland went. So I think John Elway will be the person that offered a king's ransom to the Texans. I think they'll get him.
Ooh, I like that. I was going to ask you why Denver, but as you said, Denver, right? And I do want to ask you about that. Why you think Denver, and who was the other team you said that it's down to? The 49ers?
49ers.
Okay. So this is what Denver has that's appealing to me. One, they have AJ Boye. He should have never left here, right? And I know he's an older corner, but he's still a top 10 corner in NFL. Okay. Two, they have Chubb. They have Chubb, the pass rusher. Okay. And they have a low draft pick this year, too. I think they're number 9. Okay. And so they have something that might, number 9, right? Okay. They have something that I could see, okay, because if you get 2 futures for Matthew Stafford in a 2022 draft and a 2023 draft, we need future draft picks as well, right? Not just the one you have this year, but next year and the year after, right? I would say 3 is fair, plus Chubb, plus Boye. You bring them over here. What do? You have automatically changed the face of that defense because you got a true edge rusher, right? And you have a viable top 10 cornerback, and you pair him with Bradley Roby, you automatically made that team better. Because if you have good secondary, you got Justin Reed. If you have a good secondary, it is going to the pass rush and the secondary, they work hand in hand. Okay. And so that is appealing, man. Now I want you to tell me, Pop, why Denver and the 49ers? What tells you those are the 2 teams that are going to be in the race for Deshaun?
Well, okay, think about it. I mean, John Elway was so dissatisfied with the job he had been doing in Denver that he fired himself, okay? Not many people do that. John Elway does not want his legacy to be that he was one and done, okay? Now, he went out and got Peyton Manning, okay, and won a Super Bowl. But since Peyton Manning left, they hadn't done anything, man. And they've drafted quarterbacks in the first round. They have signed free agent quarterbacks. Nothing is working. They know that they can give up that draft capital, but one day they'll do enough to reload and stuff. And when you got Deshaun Watson at 25 years old, man, it make him 2 or 3 years. But hey, man, we're talking about the Mile High City. We're talking about the stadium, this power game and stuff. We're talking about an organization used to winning, used to having good quarterback play. As far as the 49ers go, same thing. They're one of the great franchises of the last 50 years, man. And they have not been to the dance in so long and stuff. And then when they did go with Jimmy G, they couldn't hold on to the lead, man. And so they're not happy with Jimmy G in San Francisco. And like I said, they not only got draft capital, they got players they can give up. They can use some top notch defensive linemen and maybe a couple of receivers and stuff to go with with those linemen and some draft picks and stuff. So, I think in the end, those 2 franchises, along with New England, okay, Bill Belichick was totally embarrassed this year. Okay, as a matter of fact, a lot of people slipped that goat off of him, the T off of that goat, and know that and the A, and know he need to go some and stuff. Because right now, man, people are saying, well, hey, anybody can do it with Brady. So hey, he don't like that, man. He doesn't like that, and so they've got to make a bold move.
Yeah, man. Pop, the 49ers is appealing too, because there's one name that comes to mind when I think about the San Francisco 49ers, and that's Nick Bosa, man. Right now I'm out of sync. Hold on, man. Let me switch my cameras because this camera is like, nope, I'm not gonna be on sync. So we just gonna switch back to the old one. Okay, there we go. There we go. So let me fix this a little bit. Y'all forgive me. I had to change my little angle here or whatever. But yeah, Nick Bosa, man, when I think about the 49ers, man, and I mean, Jesus, man, you put a dude like that. I mean, he been in the league 2 years. He's already shoot top 5 pass rushers in the league, man. I mean, you get a guy like that on the defense, man, and they got a decent corner over there too. I can't think of the guy's name. Was on the other side of Richard Sherman. But a pretty decent guy, pretty decent corner. But yeah, man, you cooking with grease, but I still think the Jets are in the mix, Pop, because the Jets have the most equity, and they got that thing that you got to really think about when you give up Deshaun Watson, and that's that high draft pick, man, that number 2 pick that can put you back in the mix for a quarterback. And I have to tell you, Pop, and I'm just gonna put this in real quick, and we'll move on. Speaking of quarterbacks, we'll segue seamlessly into the next topic. But man, I've already started watching film on Zach Wilson and on Justin Fields. And I got to tell you, man, this Zach Wilson cat, I hadn't really seen him, man, but I've been watching film. He reminds me a lot of Patrick Mahomes. Now, I'm not saying he Patrick Mahomes, but I'm saying, man, he can, it don't matter where, if he's standing on his pinky toe, man, wherever he decided to throw the ball is going just there. It don't matter what his feet are doing, but he has great footwork. And I think, man, he's going to be a viable quarterback in the NFL, and somebody we need to look at. You know, Justin Fields, I like, kind of a flash in the pan guy to me, but I haven't watched enough film to just really say, okay, this is the guy. But yeah, Pop, I think the Jets are still in it, man. And I don't want to stick on this too long, man. I want us to, get off into our predictions, man. And but first, as we talking about quarterbacks, Pop, okay, I wish I had just, being able to play these clips right now, man, because Jim Irsay, he is infatuated and in love with Andrew Luck, man, and he don't want him to go nowhere. But I got to be honest with you, Pop. I don't think Andrew Luck is coming back, man. And if you do, I would love to know your take on that. But I don't think he's coming back.
I don't either, Rich, but I tell you what, if Irsay could give him 10% of his team, he would, man. I mean, he loved this guy and stuff, and somebody posted something where Andrew said he still does miss football, but nowhere he say he back.
Yeah. I don't think he's coming back, man. When you make a decision like that at 29 years old, man, that's a huge decision to make. And it wasn't one that happened overnight. And you make a decision to quit football. Yeah, I don't think he's coming back. I think Jim Irsay just don't want to let it go. Every time somebody asks him about it, he's like, he's always acting like he's got this secret message that maybe Andrew Luck, left on his answering machine or something like that. But no, Andrew Luck is not coming back, man. And I won't even entertain that anymore, man. All right, man. I'm so sorry, y'all. We still, we're still growing as father and son with this show, The Solid Grip. And we'll up our equipment. You know what I'm saying? Right now, we just, we got to take it one step at a time. The adage of how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. And that's exactly what we're doing, because I would love to play some NFL theme music right now, man, to talk about what we about to talk about right now. And that's the Super Bowl predictions. Pop, I'm going to just get straight off into it, man. Look, this is one of those games, man, where I would be happy with either of the decisions. As long as I hated Tom Brady, when I went and saw that man in person up in Boston, just a magician, a Houdini, a surgeon with the football in his hand, I just had a different level of respect for that man. Now I saw him in person here in Houston, but when I seen him up there in the godlike aura that he has up there in New England, in Foxborough, Massachusetts, different kind of respect, man. And to see a 43-year-old quarterback make it to the Super Bowl again for the 10th time, and for the first time with the new team that he just had when they had limited resources and time in the offseason because of COVID, and they just made it work, man. I'm absolutely impressed. And then you got the young phenom in Patrick Mahomes, man, who's just taking the league by storm. He looks like he's the next coming of Tom Brady. albeit I don't think he's gonna make it to 10 Super Bowls. But man, you never know, man. I mean, he's really, really good, man. What's gonna stand the test of time is when you start losing those key players and you get new key players. What you gonna do then? Looks like you dropped out here, Pop. I don't know what happened. Maybe you'll pop back in, but I'm gonna keep it rolling, y'all. Yeah, so okay, there he goes right there. Let's get him back in here. Sorry about that, y'all. Boom. All right, Pop, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Pop, I gotta tell you, man, I'm gonna tell you who I'm picking, but I want you to roll with it first, man. Who you taking in this game? The Super Bowl, the biggest game of the year, and who you taking?
Well, a baby goat is called a kid.
Right.
Okay? So you got the goat against the kid, and as bad as I want to see the kid win it, and I'll be pulling for the kid, I think the goat will win.
It's funny you said that, Pop, because I'm going for the Bucks. Okay, not like I'm going for them. I'm in their corner, but I think I'm picking the Buccaneers to win the game. But in my heart, man, I feel like Kansas City. It's gonna be either or, man. It's gonna be either or, and like I said, this is one of those games, man, where you just, you really don't care what the outcome is. But I'm taking the Buccaneers in this game. I think Tom Brady will get his 7th Super Bowl. The narrative is way too big, and when you have a narrative that's that big, even though Patrick Mahomes is a phenom, man, you playing against a guy who's been to 10 Super Bowls and could possibly win his 7th Super Bowl in his first Super Bowl with a brand new team that he just got on. The narrative is big. And when you have a narrative that big, you have politics involved. Okay. And when you have politics involved, that means you got money being paid in different places. Okay. Now I could be wrong, y'all, but I'm taking the Buccaneers to win the Super Bowl. Y'all comment below. If you watch this video, y'all comment below and tell us who you think is gonna win the football game. We would greatly appreciate that, man. So, Pop, man, if you got anything you want to say, man, before we get out of here, the clock on the wall says that's all, y'all. And if there's anything you want to close us out with, man, go ahead.
Well, yeah, man, I just want to tell you publicly, man, how proud I am of you, man, and your wife getting ready to have a new son, man, maybe about 3 weeks and stuff, man. I tell you what, man, I haven't stopped smiling, man, since you told me, man. And so, with it being about 3 weeks ago, wait, man, I know the thing I need to do as a proud grandfather is continue to pray that we have a healthy baby. So, again, congratulations to the Wilson family.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man. I'm glad I'm doing you proud. Not only that, man, I'm extending your family, man. I'm extending them out. You know what I'm saying? I'm making descendants. I'm carrying your seed on, man. I'm carrying your seed on, man. But yeah, no, man, I'm excited, man. Absolutely. I always need the prayers, man. The effectual prayers of a righteous man, the effectual fervent prayers of a righteous man availeth much. And if
Yes,
y'all don't
sir.
know, we dealt with tragedy, you know what I'm saying, as far as babies are concerned. Lost 2 within 2 years. And so this is what people call a rainbow baby, which basically means when you lose one, you gain one right after you've lost one. And so either way, it's God's blessing, and we thank him and we grateful to him. He is the very giver of life. He gives us he allows us to borrow the very breath that we have and we breathing right now out our lungs. So we thank him, give him all glory, honor, in his majesty, and we thank him for that, man. All right, look. So for me, J.R. Wilson, for Ping Wilson, this is the Solid Grip. Y'all stay safe out there. COVID is still raging, even though they have the vaccines going around. Look, I'm not a proponent of the vaccine, but if you are, I mean, hey, make a decision. You know what I'm saying? Make a decision that's best for you and your family. Either way, stay masked up, man. Be careful out here. And we're going to make it through this, man. So this is the Solid Grip. Grace and peace to all y'all. Go Buccaneers in the Super Bowl. And, when I hit it right there, that's when it was supposed to seamlessly go right here.